Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. This is lecture number 17. The name of the paper is Criticism 1. The book we have been discussing is Aristotle's Poetics. And the topic of today is Aristotle's concept of character and action. What he thought is meant by character and is meant by action, and how is it different from our idea of character and action. This lecture is specifically for the students of BS English 5th semester GDC PABI, and it is also for the students of those colleges which are affiliated with Abdul Wali Khan University. Aristotle's concept of character and action is different from our concept of character and action, and this creates problem in understanding some of the concepts of Aristotle in his Poetics. The first is the concept of character. Our concept of character is our physical existence. We mean by character someone whom we can see with our eyes, talking about his face, his dress, his behavior. All these things are included in the character. A character is someone who we can see with the help of our eyes and who we can meet. This is not the idea given by Aristotle. Aristotle includes, first of all, the moral element which a character has in character. Moral element is the bent of mind of this character. It is the tendency, the inclination of this character to do good or to do bad. Aristotle gives it the name of ethos in Greek language. The moral element or the tendency to do good or bad remains in the mind unless it is realized with the help of action. So, moral element remains inside the mind. And the first element which is included in character, according to Aristotle, is the moral element inside the character. Now, of course, we cannot read the mind of the person. We cannot see the tendency whether he is inclined to do good or to do bad. It is through action that we come to know whether his tendency is to do good or to do bad. So this is the first thing which he considers character. This is not our idea of the character. For us, character is someone whom we can see with the help of our eyes performing different actions. The second is that intellectual element of the person. The intellectual element of the person again cannot be seen. It means the ability to choose good or bad. This is that bent of mind, the inclination of mind to do good or bad. And in order to choose good or bad, intellectual element is used. Combining these two will give us a character. So a character is the combination of moral element and intellectual element. Moral element is the bent of mind, is the inclination to do good or bad, while intellectual element is the one which chooses to do good or bad. These are inside us and they are realized only through action or through speech, which is included in action, and actual outside action. If these intellectual and moral elements are not realized, Aristotle thinks there is no character in the drama. If these two are not used, the apparent body will not make a character. So the dramatic personages, the people who act in the drama, are not considered characters unless their moral element and intellectual element is realized either in speech or in external action. They would not be referred to as character. For example, if there is a character and he does something under compulsion, he has not used his volition, his willpower, his intellectual element, uh, and he is made to do something under some compulsion, and he does that without using intellectual element, with the help of which he can choose the inclination to do good or bad, then that person, whatever he has done, would not be considered a person or a character by Aristotle. Or we can explain this with the help of an example. For example, you are on the top of the mountain and someone forces you to jump from the mountain at the gunpoint, and he tells you that he would shoot you if you don't jump. Now you don't have any other option. You don't have to choose your intellectual element because you don't have this option available for you. And if you cannot use this, you are not a character. You don't have the ability to choose here because you are doing something under compulsion. You don't have any choice to make with the help of your intellectual power, intellectual element in you, and you jump. If you jump, Aristotle would say that in this action there was no character. We will say that there was a character, Mr. So and so, and he jumped. Aristotle would say that this was the part of a drama or a drama, but in this drama there was no character. And by having no character in the drama, he means that these two parts of the character played no role. So he is not calling that person a character because his intellectual element and his moral element were not realized because of that compulsion. He did not have any choice. And when you don't have any choice and you do the thing, you are not using the intellectual element in you, or you are not a character. So Aristotle means to say that that person there actually was not a character, though the action took place and it could be the part of a drama, but it was such a drama in which there was no character. Action was there. Therefore, he tells us that a drama is possible without a character. Now, without a character doesn't mean without the dramatic personages, without the cast. No, he was not so stupid to say so. He meant to say that drama is possible even if these two elements are not involved, as they were not involved here. In this case, they were not involved. In this paragraph, we learned that something was done under compulsion. The person did not have the ability of choice to make, and this is therefore not a character. And in this drama, there was no character, but it was still a drama because there was an action. So he means to say that there is no drama without an action, but there can be a drama without characters. When the characters are very weak, when they don't have the intellectual element in them or the moral element, then that character is not a character, according to Aristotle. And without such a character, drama is possible, but without the action, drama is not possible. Therefore, action is more important, plot is more important than action. This is a very brief lecture but extremely important for our next question, in which we'll consider the importance of character compared with the importance of plot as compared with the importance of character. Action and plot are similar, as we have already discussed. Uh, and Aristotle tells us in his definition of tragedy that tragedy is the imitation of an action. And by action, he means plot. But the idea which we have of action is different from the idea which Aristotle is referring to. We think that the outward action is the only action, but for Aristotle, the inward mental activity which goes before the action is included in the action, so that is also a type of action. The mental activity which goes before actually performing an action. This inward mental activity can also be realized with the help of speech. For example, you are thinking of something, and then these thoughts are converted into speech, and you convey that inward mental activity in the form of words and sentences to others. Then this inward mental activity is realized. Aristotle calls this speech also as action or plot. And it may also be realized, this inward mental activity, with the help of some external action. Now, external action is considered by us as well. Uh, this is the only type of action we believe in. But for him, the speech which realizes inward mental activity is also action. The external action is, of course, action, and the inward mental activity is also action. So you can see there are three things referred to as action. The inward mental activity, which goes before the action, it can be realized with the help of speech, that is also action, or it can be realized with the help of external action, that is, of course, action. So, character, which is actually the bent of mind or the inclination to do good and bad, character is realized through action, and this action is speech. So, the bent of mind is realized through speech. Uh, if he doesn't say anything, how would we know that he is inclined to do good or to bad? So, he expresses this with the help of speech, which is action. This is the internal action expressed with the help of speech, and it can be realized in external action. Therefore, the action is more important because the character is realized through action. As it is realized through action, action becomes more important than character. These two are extremely important ideas, as I said, for understanding our next topic. Our next topic is uh, the importance of action or plot over character. I'll repeat what I discussed. Aristotle's concept of character is different from our concept of character. He thinks that moral element in us, which is our bent of mind or tendency to do good or bad, which is called ethos, is character. The intellectual element in us is the ability to choose good or bad. This is also included in character. And these are the elements which are unrealized unless some action takes place. If these two elements are not realized through speech or through external action, then that character is not realized, and Aristotle would say there is no character at all. Therefore, if somebody, some character, which we call character, does something under compulsion and he cannot use his intellectual element of choosing something, then Aristotle would say there is no character in it. I gave you the example of the person who is forced to jump from the mountain at gunpoint, and he didn't have to make any choice. So, therefore, this area was not used. The tendency to do good or bad, the tendency to do something was not realized, and therefore, Aristotle would say that this jump is an action which can be a part of a drama, but there was no character in this drama because there was no volition, no willpower used in it. So, therefore, he says that a drama is possible without action, without character. By character, he means in which these two elements are not present, but a drama is not possible without action. Um, we cannot say that Aristotle meant the dramatic personages because dramatic personages is always there, and how can there be a drama without the dramatic personages? Action refers to the inward mental activity which goes before the action, actual action, but it can be realized with the help of speech. Therefore, speech is also action, and it can also be realized in external action. Um, these three are referred to as action or plot by Aristotle, and character is realized through action, which means that the bent of mind, which is character, is realized either through speech, which is action, or through external action, which is again action. And therefore, action is more important because character is realized with the help of action. This will be our next topic. Is plot more important than character, according to Aristotle? Thank you and good luck.